I am so glad you are here. I'm Liz here at Megas Books. It is alive on Wednesday, March 18th. Let's get into it. First, what are we drinking? What are we wearing? I left my tea in the other room, but I've got some ashwagandha and eleuthero, some bacopa, some lemon balm, and a little pinch of burdock. Fabulous tea today. Loving every minute of it. And what are we wearing? I have no scarves on today. I just went without today, but we have a beautiful selection of scarves that also make really nice decorative altar cloths. Just they're long or table runners. I even have one hanging on my wall. I think it's so cute. But the other thing I'm wearing is I've got a couple of rings on each hand that are from the shop. So this one is a beautiful amazonite in sterling silver, and this one is a little owl with garnet eyes. Also sterling. They're all sterling silver today. This, believe it or not, is a faceted sapphire. I know it's not the right color. I know, but it's a sapphire. And then this one is a cute little sterling silver ring. The other three rings I'm wearing are wedding and engagement rings. So fabulous stuff. But that's what are we drinking? What are we wearing? What is going on? Well, tonight, of course, I'm teaching herbalism year 3. Looking forward to that so much. Year 2 was last night. We had a blast making tinctures. We always do bitters in that class. It is always a load of fun to do. It's a great group this year, too. I got to say, my third years are brilliant and fabulous. My first years are amazing. Love the groups we've got going. We'll do year 2 next year. I promise. And another year 1. So if you're interested in the 9-month program for year 1, that'll probably start up in September. I usually do it on a weeknight. This time it'll probably be Wednesday nights, starting in September. And then that runs for 9-ish months. I say 9-ish because it's really designed to go for 36 weeks. Sometimes there's an extra week in the month, so we make it 5 in a month instead of 4. And if the weather's bad, or we might take a day off, or for the holidays. So 9-ish months. Optional final at the end. If you want a pretty piece of paper from me saying that you've accomplished something in the class, you must take the final and hand me a pretty piece of paper. But Herbs 3 tonight, it will be a blast. This weekend, Paganicon! I will be there. I am so excited. It was really never my job to vend at Paganicons. I don't know if I've ever actually been for Megas Books, maybe at some point, but I don't know if I ever have. So excited to be the person repping Megas Books at Paganicon this year. So excited to be there to hang out with some of the authors. I've got, a whole case of this gentleman's books by his request. So we'll have spares for him at his book signing. And then I also have this lovely author. Oh, she's coming by tomorrow afternoon to the shop. So looking forward. Not really an event, not really like a signing or anything. She's just going to be stopping in at some point. We're just going to do a little social media splurge. It's going to be a blast meeting her. So both of these authors will be at this event. So come meet Mark, come meet Anna at Paganicon. What is Paganicon? You don't know? I will tell you about Paganicon. It is one of the best pagan conventions, hotel-based pagan conventions in the US. So come meet loads and loads of people. Check out the vendor's room. I'll be there. And I will have books by these authors. I will have Roger Williamson's books, whatever we still have in-house, I will be bringing copies of because he is our keynote speaker this year. And of course, he is also our founder here at Megas Books. So looking forward to that. He is packaging up prints as we speak. Usually he comes by on Wednesdays and we go out for a little, tea or coffee and a little scone or something. Not today. There's too much to do to get ready for Paganicon for both of us. So it's going to be a fantastic weekend. I am so looking forward to it. So come check out Paganicon if you can. If you've already got your tickets, definitely check it out. As a consequence of Paganicon, 2 of the Sunday classes will not be happening. The Reiki Share, sadly, will not be happening. And the Intro to Gardnerianism will not be happening. I'm sorry. I'll be emailing everybody later today. But what will be happening on that Sunday, which is the 22nd of March, 2026, just in case I haven't said the year yet, is Palmistry 101. That is taught by Eshu, Wes Eshu. fantastic palm reader, really knows his stuff. Highly recommend. This is one of our by donation classes. So no matter your budget, you can afford this class, I promise. I have pinch hit for it on occasion, but I usually do a gloss of palmistry in the course of the time the class is meant to take up. He will be able to get into the nitty gritty with you because he's going to teach week after week after week. You never need to start at the beginning. There isn't a beginning. Think of it as more like a merry-go-round or a circle. Anywhere you hop on, you can start learning and go until you've revolved at least once through all the lessons. Honestly, I'd recommend twice. Just I find it helpful, but you do you. The next Saturday, this is going to be Saturday the 28th, we'll have the Alliance Coven's Dedicants are meeting here this year. And at 3, Astrological Magic with Adam, his best class series yet, frankly. So come by. And that class, that Astrological Magic class, is another by donation class. So you can absolutely afford it if you can take the time on Saturday the 28th at 3. Alliance Coven, it's their Dedicants class, so it's not an open to the public event, which is a little unusual for us. But if you do want to meet Alliance Coven, see if they're your kind of folks, then by all means, next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but the following one, come by at 12 when we open up, or around 2 when they're ending their class and they're all getting ready to go. And you can at least see what the folks are like, maybe shake a hand, check it out, see if you want to attend their introductory classes when they come around again. Sunday the 29th, very, very cool event. Ooh, very, very cool event. And let me see if it's up there. Yes, that little weird pale thing that's up there on the top of those bookshelves, that is a tonal drum. So it's a drum that's a little bit like a xylophone, kind of. And it is an amalgam of 3 different types of drums. Thomas designed it. Thomas made it. Thomas is going to come in and demo that drum on Sunday the 29th at 4:30. This should be a load of fun. He is a great guy, fantastic drum maker, does extensive work with kids all over the state with educational programming, just really all around good guy. Come check out the drum. It's a new design from him. Be the first to really see it if you want. April 4th, the following weekend, that's the Saturday, Alliance Coven will be here again at 12 for their Dedicants class. So again, if you just want to meet some of the people in Alliance Coven, feel them out, see if it's the right kind of group for you, I'd really recommend stopping by probably around 2 when they're getting out and maybe shake a hand, have a chat. But at 3 on April 4th, which is a Saturday, Wes Eshu is teaching again, and he's doing American Hoodoo and Folk Magic. Really good class. This is what he grew up in. This is what he is steeped in. High recommend. And it's another by donation class. Now, the herb class, the really long series, not a by donation class. And there's a few others that are not by donation, but these are all folks who are very happy to share their knowledge. And absolutely, you might see some short form herb classes, some one-offs from me doing the same thing, because I love this as an option. One far out announcement that I'm very excited about is Black Willow Starling is going to give a little concert here in October. More details will be forthcoming, but their name is Black Willow Starling. They're a pagan, I would call them a pagan folk band, and I would liken them to Steel Eye Span. I recognize that's like a British boomer folk pagan band that you might not know, but I promise if you check out Black Willow Starling, you can absolutely find their music online. They are fantastic. I am so excited that they're going to be stopping by here on their little concert tour. They do not come this far north that often. So if you are into pagan folk music, you want to make time to check them out in October. They'll be doing sort of an arc across the northern part of the country. Very excited for that. And finally, as always, the thing I keep tacking on in big letters, so I remember to tell you, if you're coming to the store, if you're not visiting us at magisbooks.com, but you're coming to our shop here in Northeast Minneapolis, the street parking is free. And if you can find street parking, fantastic. Park there. But if the street parking is full, and sometimes it is, there is one other place you can park, and it is about a block's walk from here in total. It is at the St. Clemens Catholic Church parking lot. They take up the entire western side of the block that is directly one block south from us. And you will park on the north end of their parking lot. Their church is on the southern end of the parking lot. So you will never interfere with the parishioners and volunteers at the church itself, because they're all going to park on the other side of the parking lot. You're going to park closer to us, right in the north side. So if you are at the crossroads of Central and Lowry, you're going to go 1/2 block west on Lowry and take a left. That'll be the parking lot. Don't turn into the alley, turn into the parking lot. It's got 2 different entrances on Lowry itself. If you somehow miss it and drive past it, just take the left at the next street. There is an entrance that you'll take a left to get into the parking lot there as well. This right now is a free spot to park. They're going to be making some improvements to the lot, it looks like, and that will also include a QR pay lot programming that will be happening to this parking lot. Really, it's so that we can resurface the lot, get the lines repainted on the lot, get lighting up. The church and the local business community have been working hand in hand to figure out a way to maintain the parking lot and keep it available for all of us. The church is happy to do this. They were so gracious when I called them when we moved in here. We moved into this shop location on May 1st, and we opened our doors on June 1st. During May, I gave them a call and just said, can we park there? We'd probably never take up more than 2 spots as people working here, which is still true. There's 1 day a week where we take up 2 spots, and that's it. And there's always room for us. So highly recommend the parking lot. The people are wonderful to work with. And I'm really looking forward actually to seeing the improvements that can come about as it turns into a low and inexpensive pay lot. So that's what's happening. Let's look at some stuff. I got the coolest stuff in from Megan. Oh my gosh. She does some cross stitch for us, and she started doing some stone carving for us. I showed off some of the stone carving that she just started doing recently. She was literally doing it by hand. The ones I'm going to show you were created with a Dremel. I'm happy to say she's advanced to a Dremel. But first, the cross stitching. Look at this. Is this not the coolest cat you've ever seen? I love this kitty. And in case you're feeling not quite so cuddly, but perhaps a little more sarcastic about the world right now, a beautiful statement in and of itself, right? So this is the only 2 we have that are new. I've got a few others from her that I love. Billionaires. There's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. There's all kinds of smaller pieces that are really nice in there, but the carving is relatively new. And I had some pieces come in and one immediately flew out the door. I have one in that style. I didn't bring it in to show you, but it's out on the floor. It's a runic wheel, but I loved her use of this tile. These are all, by the way, reclaimed tiles that she is repurposing. So she's gone ahead and carved in the triple moon shining down on the foliage down there. Many of these tiles, not all, but many, have little felt pads on the bottom so you can put them down on grandma's dresser and you won't break it or scratch it. This one I love because this is totally just what happened once she carved away the finish on this tile. Look at this. Does that not look fantastic? It looks so moon-like. I love this one. Again, little felt pads on the back. Now, those are some of the larger ones. The one with the runic wheel is particularly big. Actually, it's a 6-sided piece, but there are also some teeny tiny ones with pentacles or triskells like this one or triple moons. She's got a whole bunch of different designs she's done. I just think they're adorable and wonderful. So that's some of Megan's work. I also should say that I have brought you a few treasures from the vaults downstairs to look at this week upstairs. I love how many of you guys appreciate it and actually do this. Oh, by the way, hi to the people making comments. I have them up and I'm just not seeing them. So I apologize, but I am absolutely out there. And I appreciate you all for commenting. So some of the used books that are coming up this time, the Book of Seder. This one is coming in it's only coming in at $390. It's a steal, I tell you, a steal. Just so I made it clear on this video too, we price our used books based on the platform they're going to sell on, the quality of the book. Like, is this as new? Is it fine? Is it good? Is it okay? Which is not technically the term they use, but And then we just underprice everybody else who's that quality for that book. So $3.90 for this one. More affordable, but I think just as interesting, because as much as that is a look at shamanic practices from Northern Europe, here we have Ecstatic Witchcraft by the Australian witch Parma. He's from Queensland, by the way, or lives in Queensland when this book came out. So this one's only about $40, so it's much more affordable, but it's looking at some of the same concepts and ideas from a completely different perspective. So interesting read. This one I love because of, first I'm just going to show you how thick the book is. Then I'm going to show you the title. African Oracles in 10 minutes. You're not going to read the book in 10 minutes? But you can absolutely do some of the reading styles that are in here in 10 minutes, and there's more than one method in here. It's a fascinating little book. Well, not so little, but and at $20, it barely qualifies for our online listings, which, by the way, if you cannot come to the shop, these are all up on abe.com, which stands for American Book Exchange. We have used American Book Exchange for a very long time here at Megas Books to sell some of our nicer used books. They were, however, bought out a few years ago by Amazon. So you will find some of our books still on Amazon, but fewer and fewer as time goes by because they are pushing us to use abe.com, which we already were. This one I think is a fascinating one on astrology. This is the astrology of family dynamics. Talk about taking astrology to another level. You're now going to look at how your parents' astrology and their birth charts, etc., affect you, given your information. I love the concept of this book. And it's not a super, super expensive used book. What are we looking at here? $20 again. It just barely qualifies for us. If you're seeing anything from us online for under $20, I promise you it has been there for a minute. We don't list stuff for under $20 as a general rule these days. Now, for those of you who want to go more perhaps on the experimental side, perhaps even the dark side, I have a couple of choices for you. I have The Cults of the Shadow. This is a book by Kenny Grant. Kenneth Grant was a British occultist. Fascinating reads for the most part with his work, and this is definitely one of them. Oh, yeah, I've been telling you the prices. This little beauty in excellent condition, $2.50. Not a bad price given what we're looking at here. And then finally, for those of you who are like, it's not dark enough, I must have more, by Rollo Ahmed, The Black Art, hardcover. This one's coming in at $95. It's a little more affordable than Kenneth Grant's stuff, but a good read if you're into that stuff nonetheless. Now, I mentioned these earlier. I'm going to bring them out again. These authors are absolutely going to be at Paganicon this weekend. We'll have lots of this one's stuff. We'll have a few copies of Slava. And of course, Anna is coming by tomorrow to the shop to check it out and just see us all. I am so looking forward to meeting them both in person, fascinated by the whole thing. And I believe we've got Mark Langenfeld scheduled to be on one of these. It is a live programs coming up in a few weeks. Fascinating book, fascinating discussion I'm sure will be had. Looking forward to it. Now, as far as Paganicon goes, I will be there. I will be assisted by my 16-year-old, and I've got at least one reader who plans on popping in, and he might be happy to do some readings for folks at our table as well. We'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to that too. I don't think I will be bringing a deck to do any readings myself. I think I might be too busy too much of the time, but absolutely going to do this for one of our fabulous readers. I think he's also really looking forward to one of our customers who is a speaker and a ritual leader this year at Paganicon. Totally looking forward to his work. He is a fantastic human being. They are a fantastic human being. You know, I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure what the preferred pronouns are in this case, but just a smart, witty, kind, really, really kind human being that if you get a chance to go see Emilio's stuff, go see Emilio's stuff. I'll give him a little plug while we're here. Taking off my little rings for you. The Big questions that usually get asked at events like Paganicon are questions that we answer on a regular basis here. How do I get started? How do I find a group? Do I have to find a group? Things along those lines. The first, we had someone in last week with these kind of questions, and she must have run into somebody who was real hopped up on whatever tradition they're in and really just feeling themselves about it, because she kind of laughed when I said, yeah, I'm in one of those traditions, one of those old-fashioned Wiccan-y, witchcrafty traditions. Anybody tells you that you don't matter in any way or in any way, shape, or form, or you can't join their little club, just right out of hand. Like there's no, yeah, come to a few rituals, come to the training discussions, see what you think. We'll see what we think. We'll figure it out. If they just dismiss you out of hand, walk away. Be grateful they've done it and never darken their door again. I don't know what else to say about that one. Anyone tells you you're doing it wrong? No, I'm sorry. No, absolutely no. You do any of these practices, meditations, spell work, circles, rituals, celebrations, full moons, Sabbats, new moons, trance work, astral projection. You do these things in the way that works for you, because you are the person in charge of you. You are the person in charge of your life and the directions it should go, who you should hang out with, who you should not bother with. So if you come to an event like Paganicon, that's a fantastic way to meet people from many different traditions and kind of get a feel for what the people in those groups are like. And it's a great way to discover that you want to explore Druidry because you just fit in with that group of people perfectly. And you're like, at least at first blush, so let's check them out some more. If they do the same with you, they're worth checking out. Go to a few rituals. Exchange some emails. FaceTime. Do some of the discussion groups. Why not? See how far you want to take it. See how far they want to take it. Everybody should have the opportunity to try, and everybody involved should have the opportunity to say yes or no without any significant, without being made fun of, without being told they're not good enough. No. Not being a fit does not make you a bad person. It makes you someone who needs to experiment some more and travel around some more and visit other groups some more. In fact, I will add on that in the group that I have been with for many, many years, you have to go visit a couple of other groups before you commit to our group. You have to go audition other people to see if you can find a better fit. The other one that comes up with that is you really fit well with these people, you really like these people, but that's not the path you wanted to take. So you ask them to teach you a path they're not at all familiar with and are not qualified to teach you. Yeah, don't do that. They can't do it. They're not going to be able to teach you the intricacies of a spiritual path they do not practice themselves. And believe it or not, that happens. And you would think, oh, I'm not a kid. I wouldn't do. No, that I've seen 30-year-olds do that. You don't have to be a child. You don't have to be 16 or 18 or 20 to ask that kind of question. I've seen people who've had to hold jobs and are in the process of raising children ask that kind of question. The answer is should always be no. Now, if they say, I don't know, but I've got a lot of time on my hands and I'm willing to explore it with you in partnership, yes, absolutely. That sounds fantastic. But if they're telling you, why, yes, I can teach you all about the meditation practices from an obscure part of Nepal, and they're not Nepalese and they haven't made a study of it, no, walk away. They're being silly. They don't deserve your time. The same is true for a group that's a little controlling. If they tell you you can't visit other groups, no. If they tell you you cannot have another practice, no. They're welcome to tell you, we have a time commitment. I don't know how much time you will have for this other thing. Okay, fair dues. I have no idea what their time commitment's like. But if it's any other consideration, no. I encourage you, please, keep a personal altar. Have deities that you particularly like communing with represented on your altar, whether that's an image, a symbolic thing, a statue, whatever. And does your altar have to be some piece of furniture that's separate and apart from everything else? No, you can make a bookshelf on your bookcase and altar. There's nothing wrong with that. It is about you deciding what's best for you as you go forward through your life and exercise and practice your spirituality through whatever religion you choose. And if that winds up being a weird combination for a lot of people to think about, good, challenge them. Help them think again. Help them reframe how they see the world again. There is nothing wrong with that. Have fun with it. And I've said it before, I'll say it now. Your religion should give you fun. If you're not having fun exercising your religion, walk away. It should do two things. It should give you joy, and it should challenge you to be a better person. And by the way, in that order. Joy should be the cornerstone. It should be the foundation of what you're doing. The fellowship you find with community if you choose to practice with other people, the rituals themselves, how they express spirituality, how they move you through your life should bring you joy. If you're not happy doing this stuff, why are you doing it? For pity's sake. And I don't care if this is the fifth religious path you've tried or it's the religion you were raised in. Joy and encouragement to be a better person. There you go. That's what we need in life. I say that a lot, but I feel it strongly. So I'm going to keep saying it every time I think of it. In the meantime, if you're able to go to Paganicon, check out all the groups. There are groups that host rooms. This is very much like a science fiction convention in many ways. And some of the people who volunteer and have volunteered to help run Paganicon, which is a volunteer-run event, by the way. So thank your volunteers when you're there. Many of them have been involved with one or more of the science fiction conventions in town and have brought their expertise from helping to run those conventions into this one. And it has been a huge boon, a huge blessing. And there is a big crossover between those two communities. It's not 100% by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a pretty significant crossover. And that makes sense to me. The idea that you would play with other civilizations, other worlds, and how they think, whether you frame religion into that picture or not, you're still trying to invite a difference of perspective and a coming together of different perspectives, which really makes sense to me that places with immigration are places that really developed science fiction, and countries that have embraced science fiction the most seem to be countries with a history of immigration, like the United States. It is all about, we're going to go out and meet people and we're going to respect them and we're all going to get along. I mean, that's the basis. Whether it's a dystopian tale where we're exploring how that fails, or whether it's a utopian tale where we're exploring how glorious and beautiful that can be. They're all lessons around, can't we all just get along? In many, many ways. Whether we're talking about something that's essentially a Western in space, or we're talking about something that's more driven by the darker sides of humanity. So I love that science fiction and the witchy, pagan, Wicca communities and ceremonialist communities, frankly, have a significant crossover. I say embrace it. I say read the fiction, enjoy it. There's plenty of good witchy fiction out there these days, as well as just standard sci-fi and fantasy. All worth reading. And absolutely, I have completely seen like coven leaders that I have had through the years show up perfectly in fiction, like frighteningly well in fiction. So it's amazing what can happen. For those of you who remember the Dragon Riders of Pern, I swear to you, my first high priest and high priestess were Lessa and Flar, I'm guessing is how F''Lar would be spelled. Like to a T, to such a degree that it's still on my recommended reads lists, so that you understand some of my psychology and some of where I came from, both for good and ill, frankly. They had amazing, they were amazing people in many, many ways. And of course, they were human. They had flaws. That's normal. That's natural. And they're both exemplified really well in the Dragon Riders of Pern. So maybe this is one of the reasons I support the crossover between science fiction and paganism, Wicca, ceremonialism, witchcraft. I would also add that books like David Eddings and Lee Eddings, the Garian Chronicles, I don't remember what the series was called, but the Belgariad, that's, I think, an excellent example both of a fictionalized D&D game and the inner workings of a coven. Because you have, again, disparate people who maybe would never have met under any other circumstance, figuring out how to get along because they all have a mission together. They all have a goal in mind. And in the process of that, you learn about each other and you enhance each other's strengths and you help each other struggle through weaknesses. And that's sort of the point of a coven. Again, finding joy and the challenge to be a better person. All over again. Look at that. It came up again. So enjoy it if you're able to go to Paganicon. If you can't go this year, and there are still tickets available, but they're door price now. So it's a little spendy to go, but you can cut it down to just a day or just part of the event. And that does make it a little more affordable to at least come and get a taste of the event. If you can't go this year, though, check your calendars for next year. I'm sure there's another one coming down the pike around this time in 2027. And it will be worth it, even if you've got to fly in or drive in. The hotel is reasonable. I love this hotel for conventions. I really enjoy this hotel. The biggest drawback is if the convention is large enough, the hotel elevators aren't always fantastic. Really, that's a challenge to all of us attending to be nice in the elevators. No jumping, no goofing off, just use the elevators. It's a lovely hotel. It's got a great restaurant for a hotel. I just all around recommend this place. It's in the southern part of the Twin Cities metropolitan area. It's not in Minneapolis. It's not in St. Paul. It's in one of the burbs. But it's one of my favorite locations for these kinds of events. And it will accommodate until you're bumping up to 6,000. It accommodates very nicely what you need. And there's a second hotel nearby as well for overflow, and you get that big, and Paganicon's not that big yet. It's big, but it's not that big yet. So looking forward to its growth, looking forward to more events and more fun with them through the years. And we've had folks on from there. Sometimes they've represented Paganicon, but sometimes they've represented other things that they do in this community. Alliance Coven, for example, the leadership there is pretty involved in Paganicon. There's at least two of them that I'm aware of, and probably all three of the folks who are really running it are all involved, but I actually don't know about one. But I've seen all kinds of emails from one of those folks from Alliance Coven, and they've referenced another person from that group who is also going to be helping out, particularly in the vendor's room. I'm so looking forward to seeing that wonderful person. Bright guy, fairly bright guy, but all around, they're fabulous teachers. I do recommend their group. And when their introductory classes start again, if they're here, wow, I will be so excited for that to happen. Well, I'm slowly creeping up on when I have to end. And I'm going to let you guys know that I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody out there. If you cannot come there, by all means, come and visit us here in Minneapolis. We're at 2520 Central Avenue Northeast. Again, street parking available and parking at the St. Clemens Catholic Church parking lot. And if you can't come and visit us here, give us a call or visit us online at magusbooks.com. MAGUSBOOKS. Since I haven't said it in a while, Magus, if you don't know, is the singular for the plural term magi. And you might, maybe, in this country at least, have heard of the three magi. Usually in December is when we tend to see that term. But magus means one wise man. And I know I'm the active owner, and so we might switch to the feminine ending, but we won't. Because the feminine, you would replace the US with the letter A. So we're not going to be embracing that anytime soon. We had a T once upon a time, a long time ago. That's not what I would call it if I put it out now. But have fun. Have a wonderful week. If I get to see you this weekend, hooray. Flyers are being prepared. Boxes are being packed. The show battery is being charged. So we are getting ready here. Have a wonderful week. See you all very soon, I hope, one way or another, and blessed be.